Retired Chief of Defense Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces, Brigadier Joseph Nunoo-Mensah, has made comments to President Nana-Addo's War College announcement at this year's West African Soldiers Social Activities WASA celebration. Mr. Nunoo says Ghana does not need a war college. According to him, building an agricultural college to feed the people of Ghana should be the focus, while others think it is a good idea due to recent speculations and predictions that Ghana might hit a war zone soon. Brigadier Joseph Nunoo-Mensah sees this to be unnecessary. He stressed that we cannot build a war zone on empty stomachs when the Kofi-Annan Peacekeeping Training Center has the capacity to train the military in whatever capacity. Which of these two structures does Ghana really need? This is a question, and we have a security expert, Mr. Kusi-Appiah, on the line. Hello, good evening, Mr. Kusi-Appiah. Good evening, Mr. Kusi.
Good evening, Lester.
Thanks so much for joining us on our evening news bulletin tonight. The president has announced his intentions of building a war college in the country. Now the question is this very necessary? Since we have the Kofi-Annan Training Center, we asked if the capacity we have there cannot train other armed forces.
All right, Esther, let me say good evening to cherry viewers of Adwa TV, and let me also add my voice to the statement the president made. I believe when you understand professional military education, then you know that this is very important. You see, military has its own education, and it's just like having basic education, having the secondary and tertiary. So when you come to the military, they start with the military academy, which Ghana we have one. Then the next one is command and staff college. By the grace of God, we have one. What is left now is the war and defense college, and the aim, the purpose of it or the objective is that the war college trains or develop leaders. That's the high rank, leaders of the military. So it's just like, a president proposing that country don't have university and he wants to build one, and somebody saying we don't need it. I believe it's an unfair statement. We need it. Why? Because we need to train our military. We need to give them modern education, training. You understand? You see, if you check the threat that Ghana is exposed to, it will be unfair for anybody to say that we don't need it. Why? Look at, just around us, we have neighboring countries who are now currently experiencing terrorism threat. Ghana, we have not experienced it yet, but you see, you don't have to wait. As the country say, if you say so, and they just will be about the same one. Now what's so do you have to sit down and wait for Ghana to experience terrorism before we now look at ways? We always adopt the fire service approach. We want things to happen before we, look for solution. No. So I personally was happy when the president announced that, things are up. They're having the process of having a war college. I believe we need to support it because it's a good thing for the nation.
Okay, so it's been good and a good thing to the nation. We have the National Cathedral now. Let's shift attention to it. We have others who are speculating that building of the National Cathedral is not necessary, and now the president is going to build this war college. Do you think in times of this, we're supposed to build this war college, or we need to finish building the National Cathedral first?
Yeah, so with the National Cathedral, yes, I'm a pastor, and when the whole issue of National Cathedral started, I also added my voice. It's something that I personally supported, but just that, personally, I think the president did not. In fact, I don't want to say he didn't give us the full truth, because the initial statement was this is a private project where he's going to now seek for support from individuals like churches to support, and I was worried. Why? Because some of the things like this, I believe that we need to let the state stay out of it. You understand? So with the National Cathedral, it's different. But when it comes to security, you see, we are all crying that we are hungry. It's true. But the truth is, with the hunger, you can still move about doing your, normal job. You can't even imagine a state of emergency where you can't go out, you can't do anything. You may even have food in the house, yet you know you'll be happy. Why? Because your freedom of movement is so important to you. You understand? So with security matters, I believe that we need to look at it critically. This morning I was telling somebody that I believe that Brigadier General, spoke as a politician rather than as military officer. because you don't you say we are hungry. The fact that we are hungry doesn't mean we don't need military. We need military. It's for security, and security is the foundation of every society. Without security, we can't do anything. This we were able to move to Adwa TV to host a program because we are not experiencing state of emergency. You understand? We are experiencing peace and calmness in this country, so we can't joke at our security. So when it comes to security, personally, I'm all for it because we need it. The hunger is there. We are also hoping and praying that the president will do something. I mean, because when they came, they started chanting, planting for food and jobs. I believe that if they had matched or if they have walked the talk, the way they chanted, planting for food and jobs, if they have indeed walked the talk, today Ghanaians will not be suffering. Food today, poultry farmers cannot even feed their livestock because there's no maize and other things. Those issues are there, which personally I believe that the president has a duty to solve it. But that does not stop him from ensuring security for us because we need it. Everybody needs it. So I believe that whenever we are having discussion, we need to have it holistically. It's unfair to say that because we are hungry, we need to hold on with security matters. With that one, I can't support it. Like I said, it sounds more of a political statement than somebody who is an ex-officer.
Okay, so we need a war college.
Yeah, we need it.
All right.
We need it. We need it because you see, with the war college, one thing people don't know, you see, the higher you get to, the whole system is to build that kind of military and civilian friendly. Let them. It's more like apolitical. See, the whole concept of military academies is to train personnel who will be apolitical, who will not mingle in political issues. Today, unfortunately, as a country, our military is almost politicized, and that is a danger for this country. You see, and I mean, it's something we need to speak against. So I believe that as we move or we come up with some of these educational systems, it will help us at least build them and let them understand that the training they get is for them to give us security, but not to mingle in politics. You understand? So we need a military which is apolitical, and the war college will help us to achieve that if indeed we allow things to go the way it was.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kusi-Appiah. Thanks for joining us. We'll be calling you the next time to get more details. So that was Mr. Kusi-Appiah. He is a security expert. Now we move to the